Hello, this is Orange Sherbet, and this week on the program we are talking about video games, what we played as a kid, what was the games that influenced us to keep gaming, what our favorites were, maybe the hardest game we ever played, and stories related to that. And this week I have a special guest again, and it is theGmonster.
Hi.
That's him, and today is his 18th birthday. So what a time to talk about what we played when we were younger. Of course, I'm a lot older, so I'll be talking about games that came out 20 years ago. So I thought about it today, and I thought about my first gaming memory was back in first grade. This elementary school had just gotten their first computer, and it was in the principal's office. And we got invited, like a few kids got invited to go into his office and use this computer, and they had educational software on there. And it was a game that was like a spelling kind of thing. And I don't really remember. I just remember he was like, press the space bar. And I remember thinking how amazing the space bar sounded. It was this huge thing on the keyboard. And that's all I would do is just like press the space bar. And it would, I don't know, it like a letter, and you would spell a word or something. I don't know, it was really stupid.
Yeah.
But I just remember a lot of my early gaming memories are from going to other people's houses and playing theirs, because we never had one until my parents got a Commodore 64, which is actually a really good gaming computer back then. But just playing Atari 2600 at my neighbor's house was amazing. Playing games like Pitfall and Chopper Command, something like that. I was really young, but that specifically is like the first games that I played. So what do you think would be your first gaming memory?
I got a PlayStation 1 as my first console, and I played like countless hours on that thing.
So what was like the first game that you ever played?
I think Pac-Man, like on the PlayStation 1.
Pac-Man on PlayStation?
I think it was Pac-Man, not sure. Yeah, it was Pac-Man.
So how old were you?
It was like 10 years ago, I was like 8 or something. Or even younger, like 7.
Oh man. I remember we were always behind the times, so we would when I got the first gaming system, like console we had, was NES, and I think we got it in 1990 or something, and I was about 8 or 9 years old, and that was around the time when NES was about done, and we got just I think it cost like $90 at the time, and it came with Super Mario 3, so that was like one of the first games. But of course, I had played all the old school NES games just sporadically, because we never owned one. Whenever we would go visit relatives or anything like that, someone always had a Nintendo sitting around, and I would just go for hours and hours. I got addicted.
Yeah.
It was something to look forward to as a kid. So my favorite game from back in that era for Nintendo had to have been Super Mario 3, just because of the memories. But oh man, up until I discovered Tecmo Bowl football game, and then Tecmo Super Bowl, I could play that. I could still play that game like nonstop. And nowadays they come out with like roster updates, so it's like an updated it's like a retro game with updated players and stuff. Yeah, I could still play that game to this day. I'm pretty good at the zigzagging. People listening that know about that game know about the zigzagging and the spamming of the A button. That was my favorite. And then that transferred over into Super Nintendo, Tecmo Super Bowl, and Super Nintendo. I'd play with my friends in high school or in study hall. Yeah, if we tried to get the same free period, so we could go over to my sister's apartment and play Tecmo Super Bowl against each other, and we do like tournaments and stuff. Hilarious.
That's cool.
Good memories. Good memories. Even though we owned PlayStation and or they did, PlayStation and N64, we'd still go back to that Super Nintendo. That's definitely my favorite system of all time. So I guess I could ask you, like, what do you think your favorite game from that era, say, between a kid and that? Well, you're still a teenager, so
Yeah.
just I guess for you, you don't have like different eras. You have kind of two eras, but
Yeah, like
still
two.
kind of. You have two eras, so
My favorite
Go for
game until now is Bad Company 2. But it's like the first game I played on the PC, so it's like sentimental kinda. Fun game. I like to play
yeah.
like
So
Crash
you
Bandicoot in a day and stuff. Like the usual games back then.
so you're kind of into that style.
Yeah, like
Bandicoot.
Bandicoot. Yes.
So
But
you would
that
say
was
PlayStation would have been.
Yeah, I had the PlayStation 1 and 2, so it were my favorite games, because they were the only things available.
Yeah.
It was fun
Well,
though.
in your experience, did you ever get to rent games or anything like that? Because that was a big deal back in the day. You could rent a game from a video store or whatever. Even
No,
in the
I
small
didn't
town I
really.
lived in, we had rentals. No.
Didn't really rent games. Just bought them because they weren't that expensive. So.
Ah, I see.
Or they were like copied.
Oh yeah.
Those
Yeah,
copied games.
There was different things that I can't discuss that. We did different things too. Yeah, with the rental games. All right, no, different. Changing the topic. So when did you start PC gaming?
I think 2011-ish. That's when I
wow.
got my first PC that actually could handle
And
playing games.
And Bad Company 2 was a thing back then, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it was like a year old already, and I was the biggest noob in that game, because they all were like level 50s and stuff already.
Oh
So,
yeah,
but it was
I
fun.
love that game as well. It's good stuff. Favorite
Yeah.
map?
My favorite map, Arica Harbor, was my favorite map.
Oh yeah. It had the had kind of the hill on the very top of the map, and then it came
Yeah.
down, and there was the construction site and all the buildings.
Yeah, like a little town. It's fun.
Yeah, my friend Taco and I would sit in we'd like camp in a house as engineers and just set C4s everywhere and wait for people to run into the house and then set the C4s off.
Yeah.
Just troll people. Yeah.
There's
Well,
always like the problem of the snipers on the hills.
Yeah, oh yeah. I loved the snipers on that map. That was fun. I could still play. I tried to play it again, not about a few months ago. I realized how bad I am at it now. But yeah,
The game is dead now.
It's
on PC.
it's still like my favorite.
Yeah, but on PC
Still my
it's
favorite
it
Battlefield.
died. Yeah, my favorite too. They're kinda screwing up the merchandise, the Battlefield merchandise. My opinion.
When I was in high school, I started collecting games, and I collected a ton of Super Nintendo, PlayStation, N64. I had all that stuff, and I sold it right before I went to college. I kind of regret selling a lot of that stuff. I kept some of the games that I really treasured, but then when I moved to Fargo in North Dakota, I had stuff in my truck. I was kind of in between living situations. I was staying with my sister, and I had a box in the back of my truck, like in the cab behind the seat, with all my Super Nintendo stuff, and it got jacked. So I lost everything, all my good stuff. So that sucks. So eventually I'll build my collection up again. But then that was around the time that we had laptops in college. My first year, like everyone was issued a laptop, and we played Team Fortress Classic and Unreal Tournament, the first one. and a little bit of Counter-Strike on them. And we would play it during class sometimes too. It's hilarious. The whole college was a LAN, so you could get on and play LAN games with people. Like just start up a little server and play
Nice.
play with everybody. It's pretty
That's
fun.
cool.
And that's kind of what influenced my gaming. I mean, once I saw that and like Team Fortress Classic and all, and I watched my friends play matches competitively in that, I was like, well, this is cool. I'm gonna be doing this once I can get my own computer. So
Yeah.
there was a lapse of about a year where I didn't game, but then I built my first computer, I think 2002, and I didn't have internet right after I built it. But once I got internet, I started playing Counter-Strike, like hardcore. Played that for a long time. I really didn't play a lot of other online games other than that, and I met people through that. I'm still friends with some of them, and ended up running into like a few people from my area.
Yeah.
It's funny because I have two cousins that live in South Dakota, and I didn't even know that they played Counter-Strike. I didn't know, and I like randomly like noticed that they played Counter-Strike online, and they had a team, and we like played each other in the league, and it was funny.
Nice.
I actually, my team knocked their team out of advancing to the next league. Like we played each other, and like the winner was gonna advance, and the loser didn't. I didn't even play in the match, but they had internet issues, and they ended up losing because of that. So we kept like another season. It's kind of a big deal back then, but it's funny to think about it now.
Yeah, that's a good thing about like gaming. You meet people that are like live close to you. So I've met some friends through that. Cool.
It's different now because of the internet has just expanded, and there's all this social media and different ways that people interact with each other. Now we have Twitch TV, and we have Twitter and all this stuff. Back then it was like forums, IRC, and whatever game you played, and that was it. Oh god, yeah, MySpace. There was Ventrilo that came out. There wasn't TeamSpeak or Skype or anything like that. I mean, everything was so new.
Yeah. And Messenger.
So it's different. I kind of feel like games have lost some of their community aspect because of, I don't know, people kind of just ignore the community.
Yeah.
Sometimes, in some cases, there's a certain game that has a terrible community. In some cases, people get way too competitive for no reason. But yeah, there's a lot of finger pointing and stuff like that. It does happen. But in other games you'll notice that even though it's competitive, people are still have that. What's the word I'm looking for?
Social feel. What?
No, I'm looking for the word that means that. Trying to think of a damn word.
I don't know what you.
But it's like you say GG. What does that mean? It means that you are blank.
Good game.
GG. Okay, we'll just say GG. Bro. I can't even think. What the fuck is the word? Okay, we're just gonna move on. I don't know.
Yeah, I played competitive
sportsmanship.
Yeah, sportsmanship.
It's something that's lost among a lot of gamers. it's just lost. But,
I played Battlefield 3 competitive, and
oh, you did.
Of course, we were like competitive and like not rivals, but we still had like sportsmanship against other clans and stuff, and went to LAN party, and there was a team that lost pretty bad, and they came to shake our hands, so it was nice.
Oh wow. Yeah, I've been to a few LANs, and that's an interesting thing. Meeting 4 other people that I had played Counter-Strike with online for years. That was interesting.
Yeah.
We had planned on actually having if we had kept it going, like the other people, like I knew somebody. I'd still talk to the guy from Florida, and there's a guy from Michigan. Hope to meet them one of these days. Who knows? It may or may not happen. But it is interesting to meet people in playing on LAN with a team is quite nice. I wish I could have done that more. The communication stuff is really cool. Collaboration. Stop, collaborate, and listen. Yeah. And so I'm just gonna go. This is a question that I thought would be interesting to ask.
Okay.
Top 3 most influential games that you've ever played. I wanted to keep it to 2 or 3, but not just one because that's hard to say. If you want me to go first, I can.
Good. I need to think a little bit.
Alright. So for me, Tecmo Super Bowl, for sure. Number 2. Oh man. Number 2. I don't know. I would have to say Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
Number 3. Probably Team Fortress Classic. That was the first game. The one that really got me hooked.
My 3 games, of course Bad Company 2, because that's where it kinda started for me on PC. Battlefield 3 because of the clan and met people. And like DayZ, probably. Because of I met you guys through that. I was watching Twitch.
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh, look at this guy.
Yeah.
This guy looks cool.
So here's another interesting question. Top however many you want to say. Most addictive games you've ever played. I would have to say APB Reloaded. I put so many hours into that game, and even though I said I'd never go back, I still went back. DayZ. Oh my god, that game.
Yeah.
As soon as I started playing it, I just quit everything else and just played that. Just the rush. There was such a rush. It's not the same anymore. I had to take a break from it, but that and Minecraft. Like I always kind of made fun of that game, and I never thought I would ever play it. But once I started playing it, yeah, it was tough to stop.
Yeah. I played think GTA 4 on Xbox 360 a lot. Single player. Like hours, countless hours. And Battlefield 3, I played like 800 hours on that game. In 2 years or something. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I probably got 1,500 hours into APB Reloaded between when it used to be just called All Points Bulletin and that. Let me think of another. Yeah, the last question I had was most groundbreaking experience you ever had. Like you saw a game and you were just blown away. For me, Super Mario 3D on Nintendo 64. When I first played that game, that was like the first like open world 3D game that I'd ever seen. And I love Mario too. So playing Mario in 3D, and it was a great game. It was just the whole experience with like, I don't know. It was just, it's like awe-inspiring at the time. It was crazy. I couldn't even believe it. Couldn't believe my eye sockets.
For me, it was GTA 4. When I saw like the trailers and stuff, I'm like, oh, this looks like awesome game.
Awesome game. Yes.
Awesome game. But I don't really remember like beginning like PlayStation 1 and 2 much. Like
so
games.
I guess closing thoughts. I'm not sure how long we've even been going, but I guess we'll have closing thoughts like then over the next year. What do you think you'll be playing, and where do you see yourself in 5 years? Still playing games, and what type of game would you be playing?
Oh god. I think in the coming year, like GTA 5 and Battlefield 4. And I definitely see me playing in 5 years, so... Yeah.
You're so young.
Yeah. So,
I'm looking at uh, I'm looking at the games and I'm thinking standalone's gonna be a flop. I'm really
yeah.
looking forward to GTA 5 just like everybody. I don't know about the multiplayer. It might be a short-lived experience.
Yeah.
There is the whole there's like Watch Dogs and some
Oh
of
yeah,
those other
Watch
games.
Dogs.
But I see myself I see myself playing GTA 5. I see myself playing standalone, trying it out, whatever. I see myself playing maybe going back to regular DayZ. I don't know. It just depends. But hopefully there's a game that replaces that because what an experience to play with people. What a challenge. I want a game that really challenges me. And I'm going to keep gaming as long as I've got friends that play. I have no plans of stopping. I may game less, but hey, I'll be gaming when I'm 40, I'm sure. It'll just depend on what I'm doing and where I'm at. Hopefully I'll have an internet connection. If I do, I'll be on. So,
Yeah.
so well, are you ready to sign off here? Say happy birthday to you. It's a special day. Now you're legal to do things that you weren't able to do before. I'm not sure what that is. You can go.
Get my driver license.
Yeah, get your driver's license. Go buy some beers and cigars.
I can do it already.
Lottery ticket. You can do all that shit.
Oh yeah, the
already,
lottery
damn
ticket.
it.
Oh yeah. No,
And-
like the smoke and beer limit is like 16 years. But then you can buy it and stuff. That's pretty
Nice.
young though.
Okay, well. Alright, we're gonna end it here, but I wanted to say happy birthday to G and thanks to him for joining us. If you have a comment, put in the description below. That isn't what I was supposed to say, but we're not doing 2 takes, so post it down in the text box below and like the video if you like it. But the most important thing is to leave me some feedback on how we can improve the format, and hope everyone has a good day. And this is where G says good night and GG.
GG.